Okay, so I just have to remove the spark plugs, and we'll tie this up out the way. Remove the spark plugs so we can turn the motor. Okay, spark plugs are out, so just got the 4 caps here. Need to take these out. And these are seals that are in here. I've had this cover off before, so I've had to put a little bit of silicone back on everything. You can reuse it. Alright, so this should just wiggle off. Okay, we don't want to damage this gasket because I want to reuse it. So we'll just have to work our way around and break wherever I did a little bit of silicone work. Okay, so this cam cover casting here is what's getting caught with the belt. You've got that getting caught with the cam belt, and these studs in here are getting caught. So that's kind of making it a bit of trouble to get it off there. Probably easy if you just loosen off the cam belt a little bit, but it did come off without doing that. I want to keep all this timing in place while I check these, so I'll just mop up some of the excess oil. So the gasket's still good. We'll clean off the old silicone and we'll do a re-silicone for some new stuff when we put it back on. So the cams have etching on them to tell which one is which. Vertical, horizontal, inlet, exhaust. So the number 1 front cylinder, horizontal cylinder, should be at top dead center. So we'll just keep rotating this until we're at top dead center on this one. So at the moment this cam is pushing the inlet valves down, so we're on the intake stroke. So it's closing. So I just got a wooden paintbrush in here. So that feels like the piston's quite close to the top. It's starting to go back down. So it's going down. Exhaust valves are opening now. Piston's coming up, so it's exhausting. Exhaust valves are closing. So piston's going back down and the intake valve is opening. Piston is coming up. So we've done the intake. We're now in the compression stroke. So where's top dead center on the compression? That's it there. Feels like it's going to start going down. So you need to check these when they're in the right position. which means this opening cam lobe needs to be straight up. So we'll bring the inlet ones around till they're in time with this. Looks about right there. Recording. Right. So the exhaust valve, we can move it this way because we should have a gap there and the spring is pushing it that way. Then you can get your finger under here for the opening rocker arm. And you can feel a little bit of play there, which is good, which is what you want. You want your gap there. And the same on this one. So we've got some sideways movement. Got sideways movement and you've got a gap. So we need to get the fueler gauge in there, fueler gauge in there. There's no more up place, so the valves are seating properly. Right, let's get the fueler gauges. So we've got our mic, we've got our max size fueler gauge in there, and that is measuring 0.256. Okay, let's see if we're at the max. Nope. 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 No. So we've got the 0.2. I have to read that, too glaring. 0.2 doesn't want to fit in there. Fits in there. It's fitting in there. Yeah, it's getting in there pretty easy. Doesn't want to fit in that one. Opening one. No. Yes. Fits in there fairly easy. So 0.23. So 0.18, which is normally the smallest that you would set your shim to. That just slips in there nice. It's a little, just gets in there. Fits in there pretty loose. Fits in there pretty easy. Fits in there pretty easy. Okay, so just loosen off the cam belt so you can get a bit of movement here. Alright, so we've got a bit of movement. We've got movement back and forward like that. There's maybe a tiny bit of movement that way. So this side was the loose side, this side was the tight side. So I'd say that the cam belt is pulling this down and making these ones feel tighter. So we'll see what they measure like now that that's loose. So this one was measuring 0.18. So let's see if 0.2 fits in now that it's loose. Yeah. Yeah, that fits in. 0.2 fits in now, so definitely cam belt tension is affecting the gap there. So on the closing one, 0.8 is perfect. If I push the cam that way, that feels loose now. If I push the cam this way, like it would if the cam belt tension's on there, That's much tighter. So cam belt tension is affecting the gap on the opening and the closing. Okay, so that's the intake cam done, so we'll bring the exhaust cam around. So, exhaust cams up, exhaust valves are opening. For the compression. So that's where we want the exhaust cam to be sitting. So we'll check the closing ones first on the exhaust. That one there is a nice 0.18. It's easy fit, and that was fitting nice with a 0.2. So I've got the 0.18 coming from this side. Bend the gauge down. That's pretty firm in there. And that's going pretty easy on that one. So I'll try it from this side. It's a bit tight. Fits in there easy. So I think that's a 0.18 and this is probably a 0.2. So keep the oil on there. 0.2 is fitting in there. Doesn't want to fit in that one. 0.2. 0.23. 0.23 doesn't want to fit.